So it's a good question. The default way for companies to get feedback, and I need to explain this just so I can contrast it if you like, but the default way for people to do this is, somebody takes over as, head of product, or somebody like, just, gets a new job as product manager, and they set up this mail blast to all users asking vague questions about all parts of the product, and it all arrives in one big messy lump of data. And that presents a lot of challenges. For a start, it talks to people who signed up, say, yesterday, with people who've been active, passionate users for 2 years. And you're mixing all these feedback together, like presuming it's all equal. Secondly, if you're asking feature-specific stuff, you'll be asking customers who've never used your reports and analytics feature for feedback on it. And obviously, what are you going to get? You're going to get, well, I looked at it once and it wasn't interesting or whatever. But you're not going to get feedback on how to improve it, nor are you going to get feedback on how to make it easier for people to adopt in the first place, because these people, you're not even hearing about why they haven't done it. So the first thing I would say is, if you're asking for feedback on a specific part of your product, you need to work out what are you going to do with this feedback, and connected to that is kind of what is the state of that feature. So let's say you have a calendar feature and you want to get feedback on it. My question to you would be, well, to do what? Do you want more people using it? Do you want people using it more? Do you want to make it better for those that do use it? Do you want to work out why people stop using it? And you'll answer that question, and let's say you say, well, I want more people to use it. I'm like, okay, well then we need to work out what's blocking people who tried to use it. So look for people who created a couple of calendar events and are otherwise active customers, and ask them, hey, why did it never work out with the calendar? And they might say, oh, well, I use Google Calendar and I would have to recreate all my recurring meetings. And you're like, okay, so maybe if we authenticated via Google, we could import all your calendar events, and that would remove that barrier to adoption. Or they might say, well, it's not useful for me because I can't attach files to events. And you're like, okay, how do you currently do that? And they'll show you their current solution. You're like, okay, well, like the whole point is, like, you're learning the barriers to adoption. Similarly, if you want to learn how to improve it, you talk to people who are using it all the time and work out what it is, like, what areas are frustrating, what would unlock more usage. So I think the key thing is, if you're going for feature-specific feedback, you have to like target your groups based on feature-specific usage.